So I feel like I need to take a moment to talk about this because are we in a World War III type situation? Oh yeah, for sure. Like, how much are we in a World War III situation? We just bombed like China. Like we just bombed China's infrastructure. Like we just bombed the shit out of the Chinese railway to Russia, which was a major infrastructure project. And so like they're attacking China too. So this was old. This is August, but $250 million out of the U.S. stockpiles. And then it turns out that Norway is giving fighter jets to Ukraine and their F-16s, which are like very fast, very advanced fighter jets. They're like probably the most advanced fighter jets there are. I'm sure you guys are going F-35s are more advanced. F-35s are heavy. Like F-16s are like more for like actually fighting. F-35s are for like surveilling the air. I mean, but they fight too. So Norway gave them, and you know who else gave it to them? It was the Netherlands, who Jeff Bezos just gave like $500 million to, like for some reason. Did Mike's girlfriend study in the Netherlands? Yeah, she did. So, like, do I think the Netherlands has a lot of Jewish people? It's pretty Jewish. So, if you haven't noticed, a lot of Ukrainian air vehicles like drones have been getting through, and like they've been attacking Moscow. So Russia is actually getting attacked in Russia with our weapons, and I'm sure you guys are going. He said it was World War. He said it's World War III. I do not believe you. It's not World War III. Ukraine isn't even our ally. We're attacking Russia, like in Russia. So, according to an Air Force general, like the value of the Ukraine F-16s won't be immediate because like they've decided to give all these like super expensive planes to Ukraine, and like no one really knew they were doing that because initially like they said we'll just give them like like bullets and guns and stuff and like air defense systems, which are very like some of the most expensive weapons are air defense systems. Like I'm sure you guys are going, air defense like is not very like bad for the environment. We can give them air defense that protects them from getting bombed. You have no idea what air defense is. Like there's a reason it's like $1 billion for an air defense system. That is like so huge. Like you don't even know what an air defense system is. Like I'm sure you're going, I know what air defense system is. It's not like I have look at my air defense system. It's a lot of metal. So the army's worried about like going to war with China, and like we had a plane or a helicopter crash in like the Pacific recently. A bunch of American soldiers died, and like the reality is that like that's how you guys see it. The way I see it is like you are going to war with people in the United States, like probably with your bosses. Like, and that's the real situation. Like if you're a logical person, you're going, I need to think in this situation, like what are these people doing? Like how scary are these people? Like do I really want to be giving that many weapons to the people I'm going to fight? So here in in Defense News, I guess they're saying they're trying to improve Ukraine's deep strike capability. So they're trying to make sure Ukraine has longer range missiles. I guess that means like medium range missiles. So they're short range, medium range, and long range. Those medium range ones are like probably like the scariest ones. So I didn't notice, but we got a new chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He's a black guy, Charles Brown. So we have a black guy in charge of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and we have a black guy in charge of the Department of Defense, but all their decisions are Jewish. And like we all have to ask ourselves, like, why are you acting like that? Milley was the chair of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He's a Harvard guy. I think he went to Naval War College. Like I checked this new guy, Brown. Like when I look at his resume, I'm like, you don't know anyone, do you? Like because everyone else is like West Point at the same time with Petraeus, and then there's like everyone went to Naval War College, and everyone like has Harvard almost. Like it's kind of like that. You think it's going to be Air Force Academy, but like it's like they get a master's degree from like this one school. So 6 Hour is upping production. That's a German company in Arkansas. Like as long as those munitions go to us, for sure, like you should be upping production of like ammunition. Like I argued in favor of that pretty recently because I'm not really a big fan of nuclear weapons. It's not like there's anything wrong with sitting on bullets and stuff. So apparently the American death toll has already risen in Israel because like my understanding is like we actually sent troops there and like you guys don't know that we sent troops there. Like we sent like 2,000 troops there. Like it's like a secret. Like we're not fighting there for Israel. Like we're actually on Israel's side, and like our troops are getting attacked in Iraq. Here, 2,000 U.S. troops on notice. So apparently we didn't actually deploy the troops, but like we already have troops in the Middle East and they're on notice to go fight in Israel. So Blinken and Austin, Lloyd Austin's he's the Secretary of Defense. He's black, and he is saying they're ready to fight like anybody that attacks our troops. Like I don't know what our troops are doing. Like, and that's the real situation. Like, are our troops killing like all those people in Palestine? Because I heard that like since the war like resumed, they've already killed like 1,000 people like in a day. So we're trying to massively increase how many bombs we're building, because like if you haven't like seen what bombs do, they blow up very large areas, and like we have a long history of like just bombing like all over the place. This guy that just died, Kinzinger or whatever. I can't remember. I don't know his. I can't believe I can't remember his name right now. Kissinger is like the most famous person of all time, and like the guy like is like the American that doesn't speak like an American. He's the most famous foreign policy person for some reason, and like but he's the person that killed so many people in like not Vietnam. Apparently, I think he was bombing like Laos or Cambodia. The Kennedys, like I used to think that they were like our rivals, like they took over the FBI. Like it turns out that they were doing the drug trafficking and they were in charge of the FBI and they were doing bootlegging back in the day. My family was bootlegging too, so I'm guessing that like my family was doing alcohol trafficking during Prohibition with the Kennedys, and we were actually business partners. And I didn't realize that like we were business partners with the Kennedys. So here they say the U.S. must use Russia's February 2022 invasion of Ukraine as a guide in preparing for future wars. So like they're preparing they're like getting to that point with Russia. Like this is a war. Like and if you guys don't get that, you haven't been around very long. Like you don't remember John McCain. John McCain's like the good guy. Like he's such a good guy. Like you guys don't know John McCain didn't like Trump. He'd never tell you he didn't like Trump, but like he might like let it slip a little bit. He like doesn't actually like Trump. So John McCain, like if you ever heard him debate, like it's just like, I need to kill Russia. Like, oh, we need to kill Russia. And as a person who's logical, like who grew up like learning about Russia, like we think that's not a war we'd ever actually fight, right? Well, apparently like we're like putting our weapons and our planes like in Ukraine that much, to the point that like Russia's going to start getting bombed by us with our weapons, and we all got to go. Are we fighting Russia and China and like everyone? Like, can people turn on us because we're evil? Yeah. So this guy got put on the Joint Chiefs of Staff. I don't know why people are leaving. Like, it seems like the Joint Chiefs of Staff got shaken up very secretly. He's a sergeant major. I don't know. I know that major is very high. I mean, obviously it's not, what you learn is it's not about rank very fast. Like the majors are like the most important people, and like the colonels are sometimes like the most important people. And like in reality, like the generals are the most important people. So as of November 14th, there had been 55 attacks on our troops in Iraq and Syria. The reality is that like we've been massively killing the Syrian government and stuff like that, and like massively bombing Syria. So it's like, should like Syria attack our troops in Syria? If we're attacking Syria, like, I mean, of course you have to attack the people that are attacking you. And like the reality is that like our government is like attacking like my allies, and there's nothing I can do about it because I'm not in charge. And like if I talk about it, like I should be put in prison because you're not allowed to like be on the other side of a conflict. Not in America where we have free speech.